First of all, and I will just represent our monastic members in Janya Monastery. Welcome you to come to join actually this year the first retreat, meditation retreat. Normally from the past, say about 6 years experience, so our the meditation retreat normally start at April. Okay. However, because we make a new change, we thought the April we could have more time for ourselves, because just after 3 months of the monastery completely closed, and then we have more time to prepare something, as well as we need to, visit some other monastery and so on. That's why we postponed the retreat on May for the first time. Okay. But however, anyway, so you plan something, but it never worked the way that you think. That's life. Okay. And then certainly, I always believe that a meditation retreat is very, very important for the temple, for the monastery. One reason is because we all know that the Buddha attained enlightenment is by the Buddhas try to work very hard with meditation. So if everyone understands the Buddha's story, or as well as the story about the disciples of the Buddha, all know that before they become a saint, somebody very powerful, what in the Buddhist tradition as a noble persons, and they all because through their meditation practices. So certainly the meditation should be understood as one of the most important things in Buddhism. Okay. So of course you may have questions later, you can ask me, but if you really understand the Buddha story. Okay. And the second, certainly our mind is always like a monkey. And to come to do meditation, like you, including me, when I start to learn meditation, it's a very wise choice. Why I think it's a wise choice? Not only just wise, it's also a very brave choice. People who wanted to join in a meditation are the people who know they need to learn how to tame their mind. And they also value the importance of recognizing and admit or recognize that one's own mind is not easy to be tamed, right? It's a very brave choice. And why I say it's a wise choice, because the only wise people understand if I don't tame my mind, don't train my mind, or do not try to control my mind, then I can be like a monkey. And of course, worst thing, monkey is fine. Sometimes monkey is very cute, right? Jump in here and there. However, the worst thing is when the mind is not controlled, people can be very evil, right? They always can find lots of excuse and justification by themselves that they can make other people suffering too. If they make themselves suffering, all right, nobody cares. But when you don't know how to tame the mind, and then you make other people suffering, of course everyone say they are right? So that is a very, very bad thing happen in our society. So that's why I say come to meditate is a wise and as well as a brave. Brave because you admit I need to be trained, my mind. Okay. Otherwise, people want to learn the life from escaping, finding excuses, right? Everything is wrong the others, not me. So that is a very, very, very nice to see you are here. Okay. And the third thing, it is always believed that when the monastery itself, if they have the good Dharma, that means everybody learn how to love each other, or you could say how to care each other sincerely in the mind. and then how to be appreciate each other. Okay, and the mind can stay without anger, without jealous, without covering all these bad things in the mind. Be a very honest, sincere person. And all Buddhist texts mention that will be praised and be happy by these advanced beings, what we call the gods, deities, the guardians, right? They like to see what? The monastery is a peaceful place. What does it mean by peaceful? Not because there's a tree is peaceful. Everywhere is tree. Not because there's a building. Everywhere is building. But the peaceful is the people who live here, who do their practice. What does it mean by do the practice? Mean the mind always filled with the compassion, filled with the love. Always take everyone like their own dearest son, right? Dearest daughter, the dearest brother, the dearest sister, and all even like, you could say, anyway, like someone that's just like you. So that is why really, and people, why they even come to a monastery. Because at least, whether it's true or not, we don't know, but at least that's how people understand the people who doing the practice should have this kind of mind. Okay? So now I want to say the third thing is that why it's important for the monastery to have meditation retreat, because then the guardians, what we call these, the deities, the gods in heavens, and the bodhisattvas, and according to the Mahayana Buddhism, or anyway, whether it's any Buddhism, there's a bodhisattva too, they are very pleased. Not that they are pleased to think, oh, they do their duty because they wake up early, they sleep early. I know, so no. Yes, wake up early, sleep early may be a little bit good, but no. It's because their mind is always love each other, care each other, right? So, I mean, when you look at Buddhist text, you know that's what the Buddhist text say. Don't say Dhammadeva invented. I didn't invent this term. The Buddhist text, every Buddhist text said the same thing. Okay? The fourth thing, and then practicing is so important. And then with the practice, we understand whenever there's a practice happens in the monastery, there's a love in our mind. And then we will build up this love to others. So this is where going walk on the Dharma path, right? And the place itself will become serene and peaceful. So if you ask me, I would say one of the mistakes this year that I think our Sangha make the decision, maybe a little mistake we did, is we should have run the meditation in April rather than in May. Okay? Well, maybe for some of you it's a good thing because in April you don't have time, but in May you have time. However, but for the monastic's sake, then we can have much more peaceful day a little bit earlier. Right? So in a way, so now if we understand those values, then we come to a common, or we come to agree that why the meditation retreat is so important in a monastery in general. Okay. Okay. I will leave the other thing in the next time to give you a talk. From this 7th till 9 o'clock, I need to suppose to give you some basic guidance of some concept about meditation. Okay. Firstly, it's very important, however much you learn meditation you have done in the past, maybe you have learned some other Zen technique, maybe you have learned like even this technique before, okay? Or maybe you have learned some so-called insight meditation, what we call the vipassana, or and there are so many types of vipassana too. Some are more focused on the 4 elements, some are more focused on the feelings, and so on, and so on. And then maybe you learned a little bit of the loving kindness meditation, and from other technique or from other school, or so on. But I would strongly recommend you first, what you have learned, put it aside, okay? Let me give you some comfort, otherwise you get scared. What? Then if I put that aside, what I'm going to do, you know? Let me give you one way to maybe makes you feel, let me explain one way might be helping you, why you have to do so. You could just imagine you're coming to a swimming class, okay? You might be a good swimmer, that you might be really like the top, I don't know, like Philip Field, right? What is the best swimmer in America? What is his name? Michael Field, sorry. Michael Phelps, sorry, Phillips. Like Michael Phelps, for example. You might be, but I want to say that means if you're here for your own benefit, for these 8 days, forget what you have learned. And then just imagine I'm teaching like swimming, I'm a coach, giving you one way, teaching you swim, say butterfly style. You might learn butterfly style a little bit before. However, maybe you're very good at swimming, like freestyle. I don't know what to call the dog style. What do you call that one? Breast. Oh, yeah, like a breast. No, that is like a frog. Like, anyway, you know what I mean. So you might be good at other styles. So if you put that aside and just learn how to swim the freestyle. Sometimes while you're learning, you might not totally agree what this freestyle I'm teaching, because you thought you might learn a better freestyle from other teacher. But still, put it aside at the moment, because what you will lose is only 8 days. You have your whole life to correct it later, okay? So please remember that first. You know why? We have one of the Buddhist teachings say, if you come in here just like a cup, if you come in here with the cup is full of the water is even full to the brim, right? When you want to feel something there, you cannot feel anything because it's full, right? You have to learn. I know it's not easy. You have to learn, try to empty the cup, become like just a vacuum, completely, no a drop of water if you can. If you cannot, half. You struggle, okay? Learn to empty the cup, and then that's only the way that you will have the new water come in. That is one thing I did to remind, okay? Learn, listen carefully, practice accordingly, and see how it goes. Since we have every day, we have the Q&A, so you can have time to ask, okay? So you empty your glass, maybe you don't like the taste, you just ask, or you have doubt about the taste. You were not sure whether I put the poison, they're going to poison you to death. Like that, I mean like just that you are going to fill in the water. So just to ask. This is one thing, it's for your own good. Second, only when you're doing this, that's you, right? You know what I mean? When you're here, if you empty your glass, let it slowly fill it up, drink it, you drink the water. Otherwise, you may be your physical body is here. When the water is full, you never drink the water, okay? You never get anything. So in these 8 days, you might not at the end, or you might not feel like this is something good, but not what I want. I'm very happy too, because you taste it. You can make your own decision. So in other words, if you find it valuable to you, that's your own treasure. That's your own resource, okay? But if you, with your own idea, with your lack of prejudice, less of struggling all these things, like you say, I'm teaching freestyle. You say, no, when the teacher is not here, I still do my breaststyle. Then you never learn the freestyle swimming. Then you never know that whether this freestyle swimming is very good or not, okay? So, and then after 8 days, if you find, no, whatever, you might have your own reasons, you really fill it up, you really taste it, you really work on it, You want to abandon it, that's fine, because you have the money, you have the treasure. But you just don't want this treasure, give it away, that is still your one. You give it away, okay? So that is a very important. So in this 8 day, please just try to follow it accordingly. And I guess I don't want to say much, but with this kind of idea, I guess that will be enough for you. Just take the day. The third thing I need to mention, while you're here, just relax. Try to sleep well, sit well, eat well. When you're doing walking meditation, walk well. And just, if sometimes your mind do have a lot of idea, like, oh, what I'm doing here. So if you're not used to what, it's very hard for one day I don't read email, no phone with me. I have to say it's very hard. Because last time I went to do a retreat myself also, I thought myself is not very attached to so-called email or what mail, okay, or even message. But after 6 days, 7 days, I still have a strong desire to thought I should look at the email. Anyone email me something? But normally I hate reading email because to me all is work. Hardly people email me say, I have a wonderful day, I want to invite you to have a nice day with me. No, because I'm not very handsome. I know, no, I'm just joking, you know what I mean. Nobody want to date me, I don't want people to date me, okay? It's just like that. It is, no, but they always work. Or something, people send me something so funny thing that I don't know why they want to send me, you know what I'm saying? But then, imagine how strong habit we have in our daily life that even after 6 days, I feel like I really need to read email. And so funny, I have to even pick up my iPad and try to find, really, there's no internet? and then I saw there's a site of internet. Because that center, actually, they opened the internet for the little while time. Of course, I didn't know anything before. And then I saw the site, I was so thrilled, Then I saw the email started to download because there were so many days. And what happened is that, and then, because they only open that signal for their own, the center, they have their own checking email, and then they close it immediately. And then I cannot read the email. And that time I can see my mind was like dissatisfied. And then I put it back, I was sitting there, and I just want to say my recent experience. That is, and I realized, imagine I am the one to not like the email so much. And I sometimes always wish I don't open email, I can live without it. But I still have the urge to do so. So let me advise you, I'm sure you have this big temptation during this 8 day, okay? But you be your own judge, okay? Try very well, okay? So, okay, right. It's important, in other words, I need to repeat that again. So don't try to say, oh, I want to do my best in meditation. Have a lot of strong desire. Sometimes you get more disappointed because the disappointment comes from when you have a stronger desire, okay? Okay, so just take it easy. And then when you have all kind of mind comes to you, I give you one advice also. Thinking that you are just like, I don't know whether it's true, but this is how the language say, thinking that you are just like a queen or the princess, or maybe not the queen, maybe the princess or the prince, okay? You can be so free. You are sleeping, meditate, walking, eating, that's it. You don't have to do anything. But only thing you have to do, which is not easy sometimes, is try to let your mind, regulate your mind, makes your mind the conformity with the practice, okay? Okay, get it now? So I guess that would be, if you have those ideas, you'll be, even though at first you're sitting, maybe you feel fall asleep, you do this and that. This is part of princess life, okay? And prince life. Relax, okay? But important, as I say, just follow the method, okay? So now, okay, now when we understand all this, now let us start with the posture first, and then I'm going to say something about the technique. Maybe I should say something about technique, otherwise people get confused. What you expect to learn these 8 days, okay? Firstly, I divided this technique. Of course, we are going to meditate on the loving kindness. We are going to meditate on the compassion. We are going to meditate, what we call develop this joyous meditation, or learn how to meditate on joyous meditation. And we are going to meditate on this equanimity meditation. Okay? And in this meditation, in each of the good quality of mind, we're trying to learn how to meditate from individual. I'm going to explain that more and more next time when we, tomorrow or what. And then we are going to learn how to meditate not just individual, but we're also going to learn how to meditate on a group of people and extend it to the largest group and the largest group and so on. And then it's the same within these 4 kind of meditation, 4 kind of this quality of mind. We also learn how to also meditate on what we call the immeasurable mind. In other words, mean meditate on all direction without any hindrances or without any border. Okay. So those are very precise terms in Buddhist technique. In other words, you learn the loving kindness, compassion, joy, and then the equanimity meditation. With basically, you actually go learn all what the Buddhist text prescribe. You almost learn everything there already. So, but only detail you need your own better practice. And then also for some students who've been here and they are quite skillful already, and if they are much more strong, if they are stable, important and stable, then we are also divide them. Especially we are going to teach them in a different group for how to use the same technique and then to learn the jhana, the dhyana. Okay, right? But okay, that's a reason why we have Q&A. That's a reason why sometimes we also have grouped the people. If the old students they are here, and not all old students they can do so. I'm just saying if they're more stable, and then we are teaching them some jhana. All right. So this is what we are going to do. And the other thing that we are partly also learn some walking meditation, because you are not going to sit here for 3 hours, are you? Hello? You want to sit here for 3 hours? Sometimes you want to. The first day you find 2 hours is okay, 3 hours I can bear. But the second day, because your feet as a kind of not used to this, using this kind of muscle, you might be feel a little painful the second day. But once you get to the 3rd day, the 4th day, the pain might be still persist, but your mind feel joy. You doesn't care about that. Okay. Just let me give you some warning beforehand, in case. Okay. Second day will be a little difficult, but I don't mean everyone is the same. I just say it could be. Okay, in general, right? All right. So that's why we need to learn how to do walking meditation. Okay. And the walking meditation, please to understand, it's very, very important to have a good walking meditation. So don't think, oh, I stand up now, I go out, we are going to do walking meditation on the Great Buddha Hall. So, because this area is small, don't want to disturb people while walking, making noise here. So when you go out, or especially go to Great Buddha Hall first, go out, walking is fine, but you still get distracted sometimes, okay? When you do walking meditation, it helps you very, very much for developing your mindfulness, your awareness. Okay, all right. Anyway, I'm going to say this a little bit later. Right, before I'm going to give the instruction, okay, about sitting posture, and then do a little bit technique of how to start with the loving kindness or how to prepare our mind to start to meditate. I like to ask first, do you have any other question you think I need to address now? Yeah, no question? Anything in your mind you thought I should speak or something I need to say? No? You have no questions? 你们有没有问题？要觉得我还开始在讲知识之前，或者是禅修的一些基本理念之前，你们有没有什么觉得我该要提的？No? Okay. That's strange. No, okay, by the way, if you are sitting on here and then you find that sometimes you need to sit on a bench, please help yourself, okay? But if you can, try to sit on the floor first. And then maybe at time you need to sit on a bench and sit on the floor. There was one part of good way is because even though it might don't feel a little bit uncomfortable when you're not used to, but that kind of uncomfortable will make you alert also. Because if you feel so comfortable, you'll easily fall asleep, okay? But of course, when you get used to sit on the floor, you feel really comfortable. But that comfortable, it's a different kind of comfortable. It will make you meditate better too, okay? Okay, right, I will just talk about posture. Oh, do you think that you need to go to a restroom and come back? Just now, do you have a break already? You had a break, so everything is done, inside everything is clean, water is out, something that digests is also out, right? Okay. Right, the posture is that, first let me say about the sitting, okay? Say that you know that this retreat we are going to sit, say that we might be going to sit for almost an hour, right? You might be able to sit for cross leg, okay? When you know what I mean by cross leg. I just want to show you. It doesn't mean what. Usually when you do the cross leg, normally you learn how to sit the half, what we call the half lotus, right? So either you want to put the left foot or the right foot up. This is called the half lotus. But please understand, if you never done that, don't do it right now, okay? Yes, sometimes you could try because you feel so sleepy. When you put it there, within few minutes, so painful. It makes you to alert and you put it back, okay? However, I just want to say, this is what we call the half lotus, but if you can do like, I can do the half lotus maybe half hour, sometimes you need to, I mean, you are free to do any sitting posture, but sometimes, even though you need it to train your, become alert, you can just try to do the half lotus, okay? The half lotus, if you do a half lotus, and I usually suggest if you do, especially if you keep your palms like this, that means one palm overlap the other palms, because you can keep it this way and this way. But if you want to keep it this way, normally because you imagine our feet like this, right? So you have a curve over here. That's the reason why it's much easier if you have a curve over here, you lift your left palm down and right palm up. Because if you put it here, it's very awkward, right? So if you keep it this way, you feel much more natural, okay? In other words, I mean, you could see how the symmetries go, okay? Like this, okay? The same thing, if you sometimes you sit half lotus, one foot is difficult, then you change it, right? Please remember also, one thing I need to say also, if you change your feet, always just like you're driving a car. I'm not going to repeat if I try not to speak that much next time. So just like driving a car, even though you change the posture, like you drive a car. Is it most of you know how to drive a car, right? So like drive a car, when you drive a car, you don't change your posture and look at it. Like you don't feel comfortable sitting on a chair in the car. When you feel like you want to change it, you don't look at it, right? So you will have accident, right? The same thing, when you change your posture, you might aware I want to change, then you change your posture. However, you still try to do your meditation. In other words, okay? Don't focus like this leg. Oh, yeah. Yes, you might, but try not to, try not to. Just change it. You change it, but you still focus on what you should do or meditation. Okay, this is called a half lotus. The same way, if you put the right foot on here, then your left hand will be on top. Okay, if you want to put it this posture, or if you do it this way, usually the same thing. The left hand will be on top. It's much easier. Okay. Now, if you do the full lotus, of course, usually people who do full lotus because they could much easier to do half lotus. And then you have to just bend your feet up there. But you need to train one foot first, okay? Let's say you do the full lotus. And then when you do the full lotus, you have to be the same thing because this feet is on top on the other feet. So the same thing, you just keep it this, and the left foot is over here, and then the right hand should be on top, right? Now, remember, I also strongly suggest, for those who meditate on the full lotus also, you should try to change your feet after some time. That your left foot is on the top, but you need to learn also the full lotus on like the right foot is on the top, okay? Just don't do it one side only. Get it now? So you have to try to change it. I don't want to say too much reason why, but generally means that will help you have the, basically your spine will be much more better, okay? All right, but for those of you never done full half lotus or full lotus, but of course you can, and you don't have to do the half lotus and full lotus. Usually, if you do half lotus and full lotus, there are many benefits. I'm not going to say that at the moment, but there are some benefit there. One of the benefits is usually it's much easier to keep you alert, okay? Because your whole body become really tight, okay? On a very, I want to say like you are not too slack. Sometimes you are become like everything in the moderate kind of feeling, all right? But you know, the main thing still meditation is not about because you can sit full lotus and half lotus, right? The main thing is about your mind, meditation. So please sit any posture that you feel comfortable, okay? Now, let me just show you the other which might be easier. You don't need to be suffer. Maybe you still, but at least to start with, you don't be suffer. Is that you do some meditation of like, I call it no lotus. So I would suggest you, one way of doing it is that keep one foot on the back and then one foot on the front, okay? Get it now? Can you see it? Just keep it.
Burmese style.
Huh? Burmese style, okay. They have a term maybe, thank you, called a Burmese style, meaning one foot on the back, one foot on the front. But otherwise, normally people do like a cross leg, like loosely cross leg, like this, right? That I somehow feel this is, to me, is difficult because after a long time, you still like tucking. So the much easier, you can also open this part much big, much freely, is keep one leg on the back, one leg on the front. Of course, the same thing, you could change later on, this leg on the back and the left foot on the left foot, foot or feet. Left leg on the front. I forgot foot is a plural or the feet is a plural.
Singular.
Foot. Okay. All right. That is the thing. And also, if you sometimes even you find that's another two posture you learn. And also you can also sit it this way, okay? Because I'm wearing this like a skirt, so I need to change pull my skirt. But you're wearing the trousers much easier. You also can sit it this way too, okay? And then the way posture sitting is also, you could also put one foot back, okay? Okay. But if you are very good, you can also, of course, the left foot also after that, you can change another posture. You can put your right foot flat. Otherwise, you could sit left and right foot. I know it's not easy for some guy this way, okay? But you have to be flexible. But because this is, you have pressure over here. One easier way to do that, you can use a cushion, okay? Set it up. And if it is not enough, take more cushion, like, you can sit it this way. That is one of the posture. Now, the feet not necessarily has to be, I don't know how to say like what, but like this way. But you can be also just sit it like you're kneeling, all right? Because you have to bend, can you see it? If you sit it kneeling, because you have to bend your feet behind, maybe for some people it's difficult too. So maybe it's easy. So you just take more cushion to sit it, right? Okay, get it now? Because you are going to be sitting for almost 8 days, don't hesitate to sit any posture, okay? Get it now? However, I always like to use the word however. Don't change your posture when you just feel uncomfortable. Don't change your posture immediately just because you feel uncomfortable. You still need to learn. Take it easy first, okay? All right. And then what else I forget to say about the sitting? Of course, really there's no help. You can just do this way, okay? Or sometimes you can sit it this way also, too. Sometimes you can sit this way, too, okay? But you must find the balance. I'm going to tell you later a little bit more. Okay, right? The sitting, in other words, means you could sit many ways, okay? What I do usually if I'm going to sit short time, so I maybe do half lotus, that's how I usually. And then, short time, I definitely 2 or 3 hours, I maybe do full lotus. But if I'm going to sit longer, I usually do half lotus. People are different, okay? But, okay, after this sitting posture, the second is about how we can keep our body upright, okay? Keeping the body upright, there's a trick. The trick is tucking your belly, okay? But you don't have to make this noise, okay? I'm just exaggerated. Tucking your belly. Usually we have a joke, the man, when you see a beautiful girl going, they want to show their belly, right? You have to, so that's the one. So, and you tuck in your belly, and also at the same time, one difficult part we don't use to do is that you have to keep this anus part, pull it up. Actually, I usually have to use this word, like you need to suck it. Okay, up. Relax it. Try a little bit, see how is it. And then relax. Can you sit upright? Do you see the difference? Okay. Hello? Okay, good. That's the difficult part actually. Now, the rest is, I would think, is quite easier, but you just have to remind yourself. The rest is that your arms and your shoulder goes with your arms. So you need to let your shoulder drop. Okay. So your shoulder drops, it's highly to do with how your arms place and how you keep your arms. If you keep your arms very front, you tense here. Do you see that? You try. Because you cannot let your shoulder drop. If you sit this way, if you want to let your shoulder drop, you can. You will have to do this, right? Otherwise, this cannot be relaxed. That's the reason why if the posture you are not aware of the posture, you tend to sit this way. It's nothing wrong, but I just say if you can, as I say, nothing wrong means like people drive the car, they like to drive like this. But they're a good driver, maybe, that's fine. But since we start, we still hope that people can drive the car like this, okay? Right, you get it now? Means your mind is the most important, your posture is less important. But still, we need to teach you first that I hope that I can see you driving a car like this, okay? Not like that, okay? So that's the reason why if you want to let the shoulder drops, and normally when you meditate for some time, your shoulder will drop and drop. That's why how you place your arm is very important. If you then also try to keep your arms around you, more close to you, unless you have a long arms like a Buddha, okay? It's said the Buddha arms is long, up to below his knee. We don't have that. I don't know. Any one of you have the arms longer than below your knees? Any? Okay. If you don't, no. So, although if you have that kind of arms, you have to keep your arm here, because that's how you make it relax. If you keep it here, okay. So in other words, okay, you keep it this way, or you want to keep it this way, fine. But as far as I say, you could feel that your arms can move freely. That's what I always say. And then you feel the elbows drops, okay? That's how you can so relax sitting. Because your elbows drop, it will help you to pull your shoulder too, okay? Right, sitting posture, keep your body upright. Properly raise your palm, place your palms. That means keep your elbows dropped and then the shoulder drops. Not only that, and try to not to do this. Open your chest. Okay. Open your chest. So kind of like very confident. Open it, chest, and then if you don't know how much the chest I need to open, because you don't want to be open like that, right? Yeah, if you want to do a little yoga, that's okay. But you're not going to sit like this. I know. There's a tense here. So if you don't know how much further I can relax my chest open, keep the arms beside you. You know it. When you keep the arms beside you, that's how the chest you know, right? That's far you go. And keep your arms back, then you know that's how you need to open your chest. Not like that, okay? Especially when you feel sleepy. So sometimes when you meditate, you might be easily to feel sleepy because the intake air is not enough. Sometimes, I don't mean all the time, so sometimes it can be because you don't let your lung move freely, okay? You have to let your lung move freely. So open your chest. Right. Something now to do with the neck now. The body part is fine. The sitting is fine. Now the neck. How I keep my neck straight, mostly. So the way to keep your neck erect, you need to tuck your chin. So this is how you can keep your neck more. Otherwise, you might be sitting like this. Okay? It's okay. So, and then actually, I'm not talking, I know that there was some very, very advanced teacher, meditator, very, very powerful. They might have a posture, maybe not necessarily so-called standard posture. As I just mentioned, maybe a good driver, whatever. But we're not going to judge by them by that, okay? But anyway, remember, if the way to keep your neck straight is just tucking your chin. And then close your mouth, lightly clench your teeth to start with. Maybe after some time your teeth get loose, that's fine. But when you start, lightly clench your teeth. And if you don't want your throat become dry out while you're sitting, keep your tongue against the palate, okay? Or you can roll your tongue. Next time when you go out and you don't have water, but you really are thirsty, how you can generate saliva so that to keep the throat wet is roll your tongue or keep your tongue up against the palate. It will help you to generate saliva. Okay. All right, the last one, keep your head up. So I myself have the bad habit. I usually do it this way. But anyway, I just want to say, but when I wear that, I always keep it back. So keep this back and keep the head upright, okay? So then you find if you do this posture, you can smoke. I'm not smoke. you can breathe freely, become smoke freely. Okay, that's the sitting. Any question first? No? Really?
You often say that the pelvis should be higher than the knee.
Oh yeah,
So
I didn't mention about that too.
to support themselves.
Yeah, true. Thank you. So it's also sometimes if you sit, but this is just a general concept. But you feel comfortable is the most important thing. The general concept is that if you're sitting with a cushion, right, that we have this cushion. But if you find this cushion, if you find when you're sitting, say that I do my half lotus, say I would be like that, right? Normally, because if you sit this way, I don't know how somehow it just compress this part. You don't feel comfortable, and also you don't feel sitting stable. What you have to do is that try to use. In other words, I want to say is better is that if this heel, if the knee is higher than your navel, okay, sometimes helps you if you can have more cushion, okay. You'll find that later, okay. So like me, because I sit, I can be touch on the floor, I'm fine. So, but if let's say, Anyway, if you don't feel stable enough, one way to check it because your heel is above your navel, okay? And then try to have one more cushion to sit, okay? All right, any other thing? No. No, then I will just, I need to mention about sitting, what we're going to do sitting meditation. I'll give you a break later, and then we come back to do the sitting meditation. But let me just explain the walking before we have a break, okay? Oh. When you do walking meditation, you can do two ways. One way is that while you're doing walking meditation, first I'm talking about mind, you can just focus your mind on your meditation technique, okay? But sometimes you need to focus on your action. So what you're doing, you're just observing. Or maybe put another language called, you need to learn how to observe whatever present to you, you just observe it. Now you know that because I'm walking, what really becomes the important part of me, if I'm doing, to observe, of course it's my feet. That's why we call walking, right? Am I right? Unless you use your hand to walk, so then you have to pay attention on your hand. If you use your feet to walk, then you need to pay attention on your feet. Saying is very easy. Doing is not easy. Now, let's say that I'm standing. When you're doing walking meditation, something like when I'm about to stand up, I have to know first my mind. I want to stand up. Then you start to stand up, right? When you stand up, for example, I stand up, I will just keep this arm, pressing myself, supporting myself. So then I stand up. So you have to try to know all the action you're doing. Sometimes you might be miss some part or this part, that's fine, but try just to back to the present moment. And then while you're standing, you know you're standing, say that now, I want to go to the Great Buddha Hall, then let's say I'm standing here, then because I need to go from that door, right? You have to know, if you can, my mind was thinking go in that door, but not this door, or not this door, right? And then you walk, you start the feet, right? Either you start with the left or right feet, fine. You know you're walking, you know you're standing, right? You know this feet is walking and standing, you know. Because I want to go there, I'm not going to walk this way. So you know you want to turn, then you should know, try, aware that my mind thinking to turn, and then you turn, right? You have to know your feet. In other words, firstly, learn, just know your mind, and then know your action, okay? Because without the mind thinking to walk, you would never walk, okay? Get it now? Without even the mind, without thinking that you'll stand, you never stand, right? So then you just know that. Now, you want to walk in the front, you might be thinking that I don't want to walk there, you know it, fine. The main thing you know, I want to walk in the front, then you know you want to walk in the front, and can now start to walk, okay? Very simple. But when you're walking, you might be, the head, you still look in the front, you still look at those things. Actually, but your mind is not going to be looking like, who is this guy? I never seen him before. What is this right in there? I never seen this there. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is what? No. Try to just, even though your eye will look in the front, just try to observe in your feet. Okay? So, this feet, that feet. Now, I need to change. I need to stop because I cannot just keep on. Otherwise, he will be screaming, right? Okay, because I want to demonstrate, I need to walk this way. So I know I'm going to turn this side, so I turn. Learn how to turn first. This feet turning, that feet turning. And I know that I want to turn this side again, so I just turn this feet and that feet. Get it now? So very simple. It's not very difficult. But if you can enjoy that, your meditation is very wonderful. Say that. You know, what can be more happy? You can be yourself. Something like that. Okay? How do you be yourself? Not thinking what I want to eat. But you just enjoy this feet, that feet, this feet, that feet. It looks like Robert, huh? This feet, that feet. But you know why? That moment itself you have no worry. You are not thinking about the past. You are not thinking about the future. You have no anxiety. You don't bring in anything bad to your mind. You just stay with the present. And then you just be yourself. The true of you. Okay? The true of you is walking. Okay? So, now, because since you are doing walking meditation, when you go out, of course you must know this. When you go to the Buddha hall, don't walk like this. Okay? At least in the way that we learn, we don't. The best, usually in traditional Buddhism, is you have a walking path. The walking path is always one line. It's almost this kind of wide, but we might not have this luxury. In other words, mean just walk straight line. Maybe from here to that side, to that far distance is enough. Choose a place, walk. Say you can put your arms this way, you can put your arm this way and this way. But if you like this way also, okay, but do remember, relax this part. And do remember, try to tuck in your belly and relax everything, okay? You feel really like at first you might feel a little stiff, but not. You never used to. So I usually keep this way. That's why I do this. Sometimes I keep this way. So whatever, you can keep it on the back like this. Or you can even, if you like, can do this. But as I say, your shoulder relaxation is very, very, very important. Okay? Same thing, walk. So simple. Just be yourself. And then if you see something there, you know you see back here. Now you want to turn. Always try to turn this side. This is a Buddhist tradition. But sometimes you don't have choice. You have to turn that side, fine. But if you have a choice, always turn this side. And then you want to walk over there again, so you need to turn, right? Just observe this. I see the people, but this is not my concern. Learn not to be interrupted by your seeing or hearing. Learn even you're seeing, but you're still observing your feet. Get it now? Okay? Because you're walking, right? If you really want to see something, then you stop and see. Learn that way first. To be present, whatever action there. This is the way you build up what we call the right mindfulness. Okay? Okay, all right. Until when you're after walking, you feel you're fine, you can walk slower. Okay, please, if you can. The more slower you walk, actually it requires much more attention. Imagine. You had to really able to sit. The feet had to be very still, like a Kung Fu master. Okay. At first, if you're not used to, you shoot like that. Okay. So if you can, try to walk a little slower also. Okay. Now maybe I give you the guidance like this. Just walk freely at first. After some time, if you find I can easily just know my feet walking. Every action, know it very well. And then start to aware more of your feet. Like I'm lifting my feet, stepping down, lifting, stepping down, lifting, stepping down. I don't ask you to recite, okay? Know as the way it is. Know the way as it is. I know that I'm stepping down now. I know I'm stepping down, okay? This is how you slowly, after some time, you slowly want yourself to walk slower because it's so hard to know lifting and stepping down. You slowly will build up. Now I'm lifting my feet, stepping down, lifting, stepping down, lifting, stepping down, lifting, stepping down, right? So you will slowly will build up this ability. Want to walk slowly. Okay, and after that, if you find, almost every step I can aware, and then try to aware, lifting, pushing, stepping down. Get it now? You lift, you push, you step down, right? You don't just lift down. Get it now? And then after that, you find that you can know it so easily. I'm going to talk about these 8 days, not the first 2 days, okay? After some time, you find, my meditation my awareness become strong awareness. So you have to start to aware, lifting, stepping down, complete step down. About to lift, lifting, pushing, stepping down, complete stepping down, okay? And when that even is very good, walk slower and you might be able to know your whole body. Now, today I'm walking, but my hand is this. But later on, my hand is this. Sometimes my hand is this. You know what I'm saying? You know all your muscle. Maybe you can use that. You know all your muscle, or all your fingers, everything, how they go together. Okay? This is when you're able to build that. That means your awareness is much stronger. Okay? But also you can do walking meditation by this. But sometimes you could also still keep on doing your meditation object. We start with a loving kindness meditation. Sometimes you can walk and just do then you kind of like forget this part, but just do the loving kindness meditation. Okay, I'm going to explain loving kindness meditation in 10 minutes time, because I let you to go to the bathroom or whatever, or stretch yourself a little bit, and then we can start to do a little meditation before you go to bed, and then have a nice day to start tomorrow. Okay? Okay, I'll see you in 10 minutes time.